Good morning, everyone. Here we are. Fruit on news on, of course, today is the 13th today. 13th. It is, of course, a 9-9 day today. As you do, if you add the numbers up, we'll get 9-9. So, good morning, everyone. Well, there we are. Resurrection over, Easter Friday over, Easter Saturday over, the Passover. And here we find ourselves on Monday morning. Very, very interesting. So, just a quick hello to everybody. We have got, let's have a look here. Let's have a look. Okay, Nina Turner, Sharon Young, Starry Night's in, Sheila Douglas, Island's in, Kelly Closer's in, Shepherd's in, Natalie's in, Diane's in, Leslie's in, Denise is in, Sue in Cardiff's joining us today. How you doing, Sue? Hope you're okay. How's the Welsh people doing? Jason Thomas is in, Pinny's in. Is that Pinny or Finny? I'm not quite sure. Joanna Unrin's in, Kate H is in, Lisa's in, Jackie J's in, Isola's in, Graham's in, Jen Meese is in, Kira's in. We've also got Ann Taylor, New Life, Vanessa, Valerie, Strong-Willed Angel, Christina's in, Mary's in, and that is it for today. So, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good morning. Excuse me. Good morning, everyone. Hope we're all okay. Now, let's have a quick pop over to Ireland to start with. Absolutely massive shit going off in Ireland. The Irish people are going absolutely bananas, which is absolutely beautiful to watch. And it's very interesting what's going on in Ireland. So, yeah, we'll sort of wait and see. People are basically protesting. There's a big kickoff. I wanted just to read this about the Garda. This is really interesting. Now, as you all know, the police, the Garda in Ireland have been, should we say, particularly brutal with certain fractions of the community. Very interesting. This has been over COVID. It's been over the migrant situation. It's been over the rapes. It's been over the asylum seekers, housing situation, etc., etc. And, of course, it's been over many other issues that we're not going to go into now because, of course, there's very, very little point in doing that. But anyway, apparently the Garda have been surprised over the Irish reaction in regards to certain situations. Now, I'm particularly surprised at this. I mean, I naturally assumed that, police officers in every country were particularly qualified to, think for themselves, have a little bit of nous, use the common sense, use the discretion, etc., etc. It seems as though these people are amongst some of the thickest in the world, which is actually quite a compliment to them. They don't seem to be able to use their own brains or think not only outside the box, but actually think inside the fucking box at the same time. Now, very recently in an Irish restaurant, apparently, I'm not sure whether these 4 policemen were in uniform or not. But anyway, apparently 4 Garda police walked into a restaurant in Ireland to grab some food. Not sure whether they were on duty or whether they were off duty. There were, of course, 3 males and 1 female. The whole place went absolutely quiet. The silence was deafening. Everyone stopped eating. You could hear a pin drop. Everyone was staring at the guarders. Everyone was staring at the owner and sort of, nodding their heads to the side, very quietly. Nobody said anything. Until after a few moments, the restaurant owner realized that if he didn't do something, there would be serious repercussions to his restaurant. And we're not talking about firing or anything like that. We're talking about people just would boycott the restaurant. So because of the change atmosphere, he approached the Garda politely and said, guys, listen, unfortunately, you are going to have to leave. You are making my customers feel very uncomfortable. And yes, and these 4 Garda had to leave with their tail between their legs. Nothing was said. There wasn't any violence. There wasn't any, aggression. It was just a unanimous silence by the people of Ireland. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is going to get us very, very far in the situation that we now find ourselves in. So a big shout out to Ireland today for standing up, not only during the fuel crisis, but the cost of living crisis, and now actually blocking the country. Let's hope that the military have more sense than the Garda of Ireland and basically stand with the people and overthrow the government and arrest the fuckers and get them out. I mean, remember, the chief of the Garda police was imported from communist Canada. One of the reasons that she was probably thrown out of there is because she probably was corrupt. I mean, can you imagine this? The chief of the Irish police is actually a Canadian communist. About time, for me personally, it's about time people in positions of authority really need to start thinking for themselves and actually doing the right thing by the people. Remember that the people elected you, and you are there to represent the people. Do not lose sight of that particular little bit of information. You are there to serve the people. You are not there to serve the government or the country. You are there to serve the people. Okay. Now, as you well know, Donald Trump has basically blocked the Strait of Hormuz. Apparently, this is the Trump card of all Trump cards. There seems to be a lot of controversy going around in regards to Donald Trump, Melania Trump, Jeffrey Epstein. Very, very interesting. But let's just wait and see what happens. So the Strait of Hormuz is closed, okay? Now, the first 2 ships to come out of the Strait of Hormuz were a ship called Daytona and a ship called New Jersey. And I'm just about to do some gematria on that, provided very, very fantastically by our friend, of course, Jason Thomas. So let me just quickly get this up and I'll read this to you. Daytona and New Jersey in gematria equal 223. The mirror of 223 is 322, which in gematria is the skull and crossbones, the synagogue of Satan, the Rothschild bloodline. The storm has arrived. Global currency reset. the RV, which is the reevaluation. Expect the unexpected. Electromagnetic pulses, which is EMP weapons, okay, think rods of God, etc., etc. 9/11, 9/11 Amanda. Now, not sure whether that is Amanda that is friends with Melania. We're not quite sure. Yes, Jason. I've been away. Oh, sorry, Armada, 9/11 Armada. The US are sending them. Yeah, okay. Yeah, 9/11 Armada, not Amanda. Jason, what are you doing to me, brother? So 9/11 Armada, very, very interesting. So we'll wait and see what happens there, and like I said to you before, sit at 44,000 feet, and 44 people up, sit at 44,000 feet and just observe what's going on. It's absolutely hilarious, to be honest. Now, we had Starmer come out. Now, apparently now, Keir Starmer is massively, massively fed up with Donald Trump. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. This man has to be the epitome of, what should we say? The epitome of the twat, right? I mean, he's way beyond a tool. He's way beyond a tool maker's son. He's way beyond a mistake because his dad didn't wear a condom. He's way beyond all that, okay? Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Now, Keir Starmer, okay, Keir Starmer decides that it's now Donald Trump's fault. I mean, previously it was the potholes' fault. Previously it was China's fault. The migrant crisis a few weeks ago was Russia's fault. Apparently, Russia were importing Afghanistan's and drug dealers and from Russia. So they were picking them up in Africa, they were bringing them all the way to Russia, and then they were importing them. Fucking what a load of bollocks. Okay? And then, of course, it's Korea. Korea are another, let's blame Korea. It's all Korea's fault. It's all fucking Korea's fault, right? And then, of course, what else was it? Oh, then it was France's fault. We've got to pay France 600 billion just to stop the boats. They haven't stopped one fucking boat yet. And then it was the Tories. Have you ever heard that? Oh, it's the Tories' fault. Yeah, nothing to do with us. We've got all these problems because we inherited them from the Tories. Oh, okay. Yeah, but you can undo all that by actually doing something about the boats. You can smash the rape gangs. And we're not going to call them grooming gangs because they're not fucking grooming gangs. These are rape gangs and abusive gangs. Okay? And then, of course, he blames Nigel Farage. Okay? Then, of course, he blamed Iran. Now it's now Iran. It's Iran's fault. Oh, yeah, petrol prices are going up because it's Iran's fault. Huh? I'll tell you what's going to happen now, right? I'll tell you what's going to happen now. What we're going to do, right? We're going to have an alien invasion, right? And the petrol prices and the diesel prices and the economy will all be down to the aliens. It'll be the aliens that have created this problem. That's all I can say. Here's an interesting little fact about Ayatollah. The Ayatollah Khomeini, okay? Let's talk about, let's just think about Colonel Gaddafi. Let's just think about JFK. Let's just think about all the people that went against the establishment. Let's think about all the people that actually spoke up. Let's think about the guy that invented a water-powered car. back in the 1980s and suddenly disappeared. Let's think about all the people that brought the truth out about 9/11, the Titanic, JFK, that have all disappeared. Let's talk about the Apollo mission, where the 7 astronauts, it blew up. Let's talk about that. Then all of a sudden they turn up with normal, regular jobs 10, 15 years later. Very interesting. The Challenger, I think it was called. So very, very interesting. Let's now look at the Ayatollah. Ayatollah Khomeini, Iran. Despite what you think about the Ayatollah, most of your information has come, of course, from Western media. Western media, of course, are overly not very reliable, as you well know. And if you think that they are, then you are an absolute dick. Very interesting. Seems as though I think it was 2014, was it? It was 2014, I can't remember now. But the Ayatollah Khomeini tweeted out about Jeffrey Epstein. Ooh. Very interesting. So he tweets out about Jeffrey Epstein. He also confirmed, Jimmy Carter, the peanut farmer from Iowa, or wherever he fucking, Arkansas, or I don't know where he come from. Now, this was, of course, he also tweeted out about the 100,000 girls that were trafficked from Africa and Latin America into America itself, and these girls were all sold for round about £1,000 each. That's the Ayatollah Khomeini. Very interesting character. Very interesting character. And then, of course, what else do we have to do? Now we have to look at Viktor Orban and, of course, Hungary. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Viktor Orban. Viktor Orban was bigged up bigly by Donald Trump. Very bigged up bigly by Donald Trump. All of a sudden, we now find Viktor Orban has been banished out of the kingdom. Ooh, I'm thinking some form of a coup d'etat or election fraud. A bit like Keir Starmer, a bit like what happened in America, a bit like Sadiq Khan, and many, many other things that's happened around the world. Now, let's look at Viktor Orban. Hungary, up until today, has had very, very closed and tight borders. I mean, like, you can't even, even the rabbits can't get in, right? Strict immigration policies. Viktor Orban is a strict Christian, or should we say a practicing Christian. Hungary is a Christian type country. Okay? Very interesting. Viktor Orban is one of the very few men that put his people first. Should we say a bit like Colonel Gaddafi? JFK. Very interesting. Anyway, so Viktor Orban refused to be bullied by the EU over the migrant quotas situation. He said, no, we're not fucking sticking to them quotas. You can fucking fine us as much as you want. So the EU decided to fine Viktor Orban €1 million a day. Just because he said, no, we're not taking your quotas of migrants. Okay. Our borders will remain closed. Our immigration will remain fucking tight as a snare drum, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. That's what he said. And Hungary make their own rules. Now you know why Viktor Orban has been ousted. And of course, he's been ousted by a guy called Peter Magyar. Now, Peter Magyar, okay, is an interesting character, a very interesting character. He is, of course, backed by the Ukraine. He is, of course, backed by London. He is, of course, backed by the Khazarian mafia. He is, of course, backed by Israel. And, of course, Mossad. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Peter, the new Messiah. What a cockwomble. What an absolute cockwomble. So let's just talk about Peter, shall we? Peter happened to be a wife beater. Apparently, he beat his wife with a belt on a regular basis. Not content with that, after he sort of got divorced or whatever, and he was involved with other women, so to speak, he went and beat them as well. Yes, very interesting character. A man that beats women. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Not only that, a heavy cocaine user. We all know about those cocaine users on the European cocaine train. Know what I mean? Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Backdoor Jimmies. Know what I mean? And then, of course, not only that, but he's also a heavy alcohol drinker. He's apparently known as the party boy of Hungary. Not for the good reasons either. So quite an upstanding man, really. He's also involved in lots of corruption and insider trading, but of course, the Western media don't tell you that. I'm thinking, of course, we need some fucking EBS very quickly to be able to explain this shit and get the BBC off the fucking air, because we need some serious stuff to go on. Very interesting. So that tells you a little bit about Peter Magyar, the new Hungarian Messiah. Another cockwomble. Meanwhile, an apology from me. Now, I did say yesterday, or the day before, can't remember now, The Rise and Fall of the House of York, a book written by an English author, quoted the Epstein shit going on, etc. Now, I did say that this book was out this week. Apparently, it wasn't, so my apologies for that. I found out that it actually was published in, I'm not sure whether it was August 24 or August 25. You can go online and research that anyway if you want to. It sort of came up on my radar, so I just clocked into it. Anyway, so that's quite an interesting one. That it doesn't really distract from Melania Trump, Epstein. It doesn't really Amanda doesn't really distract from that. But anyway, so we might come back to that in a bit. Now, did you see the footage of the Artemis 2 being pushed out of the back of a cargo plane? Here we go. Big round of applause to the biggest satanic cult on the planet, NASA. And if you add a T, you end up getting Satan. There you go. I mean, what kind of an organisation pushes a spacecraft out the back of a C-130, I think it was, and it landed in the Pacific Ocean, or should we say Pacific Ocean, not the Pacific Ocean. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Now, as you well know, the political system all over the world, including the Trump administration, is absolutely collapsing right in front of your eyes. Keir Starmer is doing a fantastic job of collapsing the UK political system, Westminster. The police are doing a great job. I mean, they're just destroying themselves faster than we can even build them up. It's absolutely hilarious. Now, we did say, of course, there is going to be a new world. When we said there's going to be a new world, what we meant to say was, oh yes, there's going to be a brand new system. And it's not going to be something that you are actually used to. And remember one thing, ladies and gentlemen, that human beings are not very good at changing. Just bear that in mind, because it's very important as we move forward. Now, the golden boy, the golden balls of the BBC TV. This is a guy called Dan Walker. Don't know too much about him, but he's actually been accused of bullying, and I think he's under investigation at the moment. Very interesting. What else have we got? A shadow war. A shadow war. Now, who would we have a shadow war with? Well, of course, we've got a shadow war with the deep state. Very interesting. It's all unfolding before our very eyes, as you well know. Now, here's a little interesting tidbit for you regarding the Titanic. Now, on April the 15th, which happens to be Wednesday in 1912, the Titanic actually sank. That's an interesting one. However, it was actually struck on April the 14th, which happens to be tomorrow. This, of course, is when the Titanic was swapped out for the Olympic. Very interesting. Apparently there was a £12 million payday or something, and that created the Federal Reserve. Remember that on the Titanic was a great number of bankers. There was a great number of American and British influential people, so to speak. Very wealthy families that just happened to go down with the Titanic. Very interesting. Now, if I'm not mistaken, was the Federal Reserve sort of formed in 1912, was it? I'm not quite sure. Don't know. I'm sure Jason knows more about that. And did you know that it's 114 years ago now? 114 years. Wow, what a great time to be alive. Not if you were on the boat, actually, but anyway. So 114 years. 1913. So the Federal Reserve was implemented around about a year after the Titanic sunk, which would kind of, give you like a rolling time scale. So that kind of makes sense. You get the insurance money, you set up the fucking Federal Reserve, you shaft the people all around the world with a fucking fake banking system. Very interesting. Now remember all the debt that's been incurred by, of course, the fiat Ponzi banking system is not our debt. It's not ours. It's nothing to do with us. It's their debt, and they've got to pay it back. The Federal Reserve was also put together on Jekyll Island, an aptly named island, to be honest. Jekyll and Hyde, two sides of the same personality. Very interesting. So anyway, 114 years ago, 11.4. Q drop 11.4 or Q drop 114. Go and have a look go and look it up. See if you can join some of the dots. I'll leave it with you. I'm not going to do all the work for you because, of course, it's not my job. Okay, now let's have a quick look at Palantir. Palantir, a very interesting company run by a guy called Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel is slipperier than a fucking eel or a snake. Snakes are slippery, but eels are even more slippery. But Peter Thiel, massive connections to Donald Trump, massive connections to Mr. Mandelson, massive connections to Keir Starmer, massive connections to David Lammy, especially through the back door. Wes Streeting is also connected. They're all connected, ladies and gentlemen. Now, remember that a lot of the Labour supporters that are supported by, of course, Peter Thiel and Palantir, okay, are also highly compromised to the pro-Israel lobby, or should we say, the Friends of Israel. Friends of Israel, you say? Yes, I do say, Marcus. I do fucking say the Friends of Israel. Yes, that country that is bombing the shite out of Lebanon is threatening Spain at the moment. They're threatening to bomb Spain. Israel are threatening to bomb Spain. Let me just say that again for all the people at the back that are hard of hearing. Israel are threatening to bomb Spain. Why? Because Amanda, the gorgeous Amanda, okay, who has been massively smited by Paolo Don Bongino, okay, the model agency guru, or should we say escort guru, who happened to organise for Melania Trump, who kind of tries to protect her pre-Trump life, very passionately, because of course, well, it's very questionable. Hence the reason why she came out and did the speech. Oh, yes. Now, Peter Thiel, of course, massive contracts in the NHS and the military and the government organisations of the UK. Don't tell me it's not connected, because it is. Peter Thiel is the man who introduced J.D. Vance to, of course, Mr. Trump. Guess what J.D. Vance thought about Donald Trump before Peter Thiel introduced him? J.D. Vance thought that Donald Trump was Hitler. Very interesting use of words there. Now, J.D. Vance gets introduced to Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago. Did Peter Thiel explain to J.D. Vance what was going to happen in regards to J.D. Vance meeting Donald Trump? Now, what we've got now is J.D. Vance at the moment is rather quiet on all kinds of different fronts. Now, is he positioning himself ready for the departure of said Donald Trump? And of course, you know, the model from Paolo. Is that going to happen? Probably. Will it happen? Maybe at some stage. Is it going to happen in the next 2 or 3 days? Not quite sure. Who cares? Anyway, it will probably happen. So J.D. Vance is positioning himself to basically take over. The same with Peter Hegseth as well. He was very anti-Trump a few years ago. Now here he is on the pipeline, spreading the butter, so to speak. Starmer is also complicit in all of this. Mr. Starmer, of course, met Peter Thiel in America through Mandelson, and I wouldn't be surprised if they had didn't have a bit of backdoor bunnies, so to speak. But anyway, that besides, I would imagine some deals were done and things were promised and things were said, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a very interesting time. Starmer, of course, as you well know, has basically sold arms to Israel, supports Israel. Drones apparently were sent from the UK to Lebanon to assist Israel in the killing of... now, I'm not quite sure how many it was, so I'm not going to actually say, but it was a rather large number of people that were killed in Lebanon due to the due to the British drones identifying targets. It's a big club. We're not in it. The best part is we can actually see it now. And it's pretty obvious. Remember that many of the friends of Israel, i.e. Labour, were of course also sent to Israel on jollies. Yes, on jollies, ladies and gentlemen. So, there you go. What else have we got? Let's have a look. I think I've covered that. This is an interesting one. Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia apparently have just bypassed the Strait of Hormuz with a pipeline. Apparently 7 billion. Now, I'm not sure whether it's 7 million. It can't be billion. That's too much. 7 million barrels of oil a day are now going down the pipeline. Very interesting. It's going to be quite an interesting time, ladies and gentlemen, as we move forward. And the best part about this is, ladies and gentlemen, of course, it's only fucking Monday. It's only Monday. And it's already kicking off on planet Earth. You know what I mean? Now, in the famous words of Gladiator, whatever comes through the door, we need to stick together. If we stick together, we will survive. If we get divided, we will die. Famous words from Russell Crowe in Gladiator. Okay, I'm going to get myself off, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, my eyes are pretty puffy. We seem to be, I'm not saying struggling, that would be the wrong word. I'm just saying irritated. But you know what? We're not going to let it. We are not going to let it spoil our shit. Oh, no, fuck them. That's what I say. Anyway, listen, take care. Have a great day. Beautiful day in the northeast of England. Not a cloud in the sky. A little bit cool. But apart from that, fucking hell, beautiful. Beautiful. Anyway, love you loads. See you all soon. Take care.